Hey you guys, what's going on? My name is Reed the Writer. I saw this video, it was trending a lot, it was going viral on TikTok. The video was about Terrence Howard and being disgruntled with his payment that was given to him over working on, I believe I'm gonna say it, his most popular show, which is Empire. And yeah, he's very, very upset about it, which he absolutely should. And I wasn't initially going to do a video on this, but I had to think back and I had to go, okay, I love covering entertainment. I love talking about entertainment industry. I love talking about the money side primarily. I love talking about marketing with entertainment and, you know, how movies and film and just news and everything, how all that, like, you know, counter intersects. But looking at this story, it really did bring out the marketing joy that I have within me. That's really what it is. And my interest so much in not just like the industry, but in the contractual side of the industry, like just, you know, the behind the scenes. I'm very, very much interested in that, especially with me being a writer, me having my own books. Eventually down the line, maybe I might make a movie or a TV show, or I might put something on YouTube. You never know. You never know with me. I'm just, you know, I'm just out here. But I started doing research on Terrence Howard. Like, I did a deep dive for about 4 days. I got that committed to Terrence Howard's story. I'm going to show you guys the video I found off of TikTok as well. After doing a deep dive on Terrence Howard, I thought to myself, how interesting is it that the movie industry, the music industry, and my industry, which is the publishing industry, are all different, but all the same in matters of how intellectual property is bought, copywritten, sold, and owned. So, you know, I can get a deeper dive in that. So, Terrence Howard, his biggest issue was his payment, how much he was receiving off of Empire, right? Let's just focus with Empire, because he has other issues with his other movies that he was in, like in the early 2000s, which was Hustle and Flow. And I might do a video on that topic as well, because I'm starting to really get into Terrence Howard. But let's talk about what Terrence Howard was talking about in this current video. So Terrence Howard was upset about his payment amount. Come to find out that his agents who were over him were basically his guide through this mechanism of the film industry. So his agents were the one propagating his payment amount. They were the ones giving him advice on it, telling him what to do, telling him this is like the good payment amount. This is a really good pay. You should take this. Another one, don't rock the boat. You're going to make money, more money on the backhand side once this show that's like live, that was, you know, being produced, is going to go into syndication. And syndication basically just means it would go on to just being aired on television or streamed, like say on like a Netflix or put on a Tubi or something like that, right? Where those companies get paid from those streaming services. And there's so many different ways that a movie can just generate money, you know, money for the end of time, right? So Terrence Howard was basically saying in this video I'm going to show you guys is that he was unrightly, unfairly paid for the work that he did. He was unaware of it because he trusted his agents, and I'm assuming there's lawyers also involved as well. He trusted these people to give him the best deal. Come to find out that these agents were also, here's the word of the day, I love this word, we're also in cahoots with Lee Daniels and the production company. So by default, these agents were always going to have their interests tied higher to say the producers, the executive producers, the production team, the production, you know, whoever owns it, Universal, over Terrence Howard. And that's essentially what happened to Terrence Howard in this situation with Empire. And it wasn't just him. It was Taraji P. Henson had a very similar duping as well, where I guess they were underpaid. I'm not going to say I guess they were underpaid. They were underpaid. Then compared to, like, let's say in this video, he was comparing himself to Big Bang Theory, which he has every right to do. Because in the first season of Empire, I was doing my research, it was something crazy, something like high millions. But the end of the season of Empire, the last episode garnered almost close to what Big Bang was garnering, like, per episode. So it's pretty insane. But yeah, let me show you guys the video. We're going to talk about what Terrence Howard had to say in the video. Then I'm going to show you guys an article where we can get a more in-depth talk over the financials dealings with Empire and Terrence Howard, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the video. And as a warning, the reason why this video was going viral on TikTok wasn't necessarily for what Terrence Howard had to say. Let's keep that in mind. It wasn't necessarily what he had to say. It caught me because I'm not swayed by gimmicks. I always know that, like, distractions always hold truths. So I usually know, especially with social media, people will do ridiculous things or showcase themselves in, like, you know, I'm trying to be kind about it, in different lights. But the message is there. But sometimes you have to package yourself a certain way just to go viral on social media. You know how it works, right? So, but in the video, Terrence Howard is wearing a, I guess like a 1970s suit. He looks dapper to me. He looks pretty fly. His haircut is looking like a Farrah Fawcett. This man got his hair laid and curled. But just don't focus too much on what Terrence Howard looks like. Don't get me wrong, it's daunting. But focus on what Terrence Howard is actually saying. Okay, so I'm gonna put the video right here, then we're gonna talk about it, okay? And like I said, just listen. Don't look. Stop looking at him. Just hear what he has to say. What he's saying is valid, and there's a lot of weight there. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna show you guys right now.
They owe me over $120 million based on what would have been paid to white counterparts. Yeah. My show was with Fox. The people from Big Bang was with Fox. Mm-hmm. We had 28 million viewers. They had 11 million viewers. Yeah. They were getting damn near $3 million an episode, those white kids that had no name recognition, no Oscar nominations, none of that. These jokers are paying me $325,000 an episode. My agents were incentivized to keep my pay low. I asked them about my money. They sent me a check for $666 exactly. How do you negotiate $2 million for a white cat and negotiate $325,000 for a black cat that has 3 times what white cat is getting? They were $25,000 for a black cat that has 3 times what white cat is getting.
Okay, so first of all, Terrence Howard, he's talking about what his payment was compared to what Big Bang Theory, what they were making. And here we go. Actually, I can just pull it up right now. So we're going to type in Big Bang Theory. And over here we do everything live. Big Bang Theory. Let's see, viewership. I love that word. Okay, so the final season of Big Bang Theory, they had 17.31 million per episode. That's crazy. The show's lowest average. Okay, so let's see what the high is. So the show, accept. Let's go ahead and accept those cookies. Why not? Okay. So season 1 viewership numbers were 8.4. Season 2 got to 10 million. Season 3, and keep in mind, you guys, Big Bang Theory has been around since like 2009, so it's a very long time. Season 3, 14.4 million. So at the height of Big Bang Theory, the highest they received for viewership was during season 7, which was 20.4 million, which is crazy. That's absolutely insane. That's still like crazy for Big Bang Theory. So now let's go to Empire. Empire. Let's go show viewership. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, so for Empire show, season 1 had 12 episodes, right? Season 1 had 17.33 million viewers. Insane. So for Empire season 1, that's crazy. Wow. That is insane. Let me read another article. So 2019, Empire had a steady ratings decline over the past couple seasons. For comparisons, season 5 had 4.1, while the season 4... So at the very end of their seasons, it got lower. That's still insane. Wow. Yeah, I mean, for season 1, he did pretty good. But yeah, so this is what it is, you guys. So for season 1 of Empire, it had 17.33 viewerships, or 17 million. By the end, by the time Empire got to season 6, it had 4 million. But let's focus on the 17 million for season 1, right? Big Bang Theory, for their season 1, only had 8.4 million. But by the time Big Bang Theory got towards like the middle of their run, which was like season 7, 8, and 9, they were in the 20 million. So in comparison, 17 million to 20 million, yeah, it's not too far of a stretch on what Terrence Howard is actually suggesting for the payment. Granted, Empire did have a steep decline once the show was in progress. From season 1, from 17 to season 2, 15 million. Season 3, 10 million. So the viewership continued to go lower and lower, but still, that first season, it was a smash hit. So I see what he's saying. See, that's what I'm saying. I see what Terrence Howard is saying, but Big Bang Theory is like, it's such a big show. In terms of the finances, what Terrence Howard mentioned, that is something that I see a lot in the music industry. Him mentioning how he took a lowball offer, very reminiscent of what happens in the music industry. And I'll say it like this. What Terrence Howard was basically explaining was his agent situation. His agent encouraged him to take a lower offer, right? And in hopes that like down the line, once the Empire got to syndication, that's where Terrence Howard would start making his money. But come to find out is that the agent was actually, the word of the day right here, it was in cahoots with Lee Daniels, who was over productions. And the agent also worked for the production company that was in charge of Empire. So can we say there was conflicted interest with the agents, maybe possibly the lawyers? Definitely. But have I seen this before in the music industry? Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's why I clicked on this video and I wanted to talk about it, because it's just like the same thing that happened to Terrence Howard is the same thing that happens to so many musicians in the industry. And these young, bright-eyed musicians, especially those who are African American or, brown, what will happen is they'll step into this world of like the industry, right? Entertainment. And because they aren't acclimated with the world, because people think entertainment is primarily just about face and recognition and fame. It's really about contracts and power and perpetuity and ownership and copyrights. Like, that's what it really is. And I see so many African American stars who are young, bright-eyed, who will come into the industry and not realize that when they're going in for these auditions or whatever they're doing, they don't come in with the best protection or knowledge or experience. It's not their fault, especially like say if you're an African American, you're coming from a area of like being on the lower economic scale, and you don't have that privilege of being born with a, you know, a golden spoon or silver spoon, right? So they'll come into the industry and they're easy targets, and it's so easy for them to get swindled into these like lowball offers and contracts, trusting that the people who are over them, who are watching them, typically like they'll go into these like rooms, not have any lawyers. Then the production companies will offer them lawyers, because you gotta have a lawyer to sign these contracts and get things like done and submitted and signed back and forth. Especially with an agent as well. They'll give them these agents, they'll give them these lawyers. But these lawyers and agents, they actually work for the production company, or they have strings tied to that production company. And they get these lower ball offers that benefit the production company, but do not benefit the actor or artist. Same thing happens in the music industry. I've seen it so many times. And it's not just African Americans. It's white people, same thing happens to them, where they'll get signed when they're like kids, teenagers, young, 20-year-olds, even 30-year-olds, because 30-year-olds are very young as well. They'll come in, not know anything, get signed, and they get screwed out of millions of dollars. Music industry is more devious and just dark and sinister. Because at least, you know, I would say with like being an actor, you have more liberty, more control than compared to like say if you get signed to like say at Universal or Sony, or you know, you get distributed through them and they end up owning your work, your intellectual property for like the end of time. Like just some crazy stuff, right? I was gonna say, I don't need to get too deep into it, but this is essentially what like Terrence Howard was just mentioning, how his agent screwed him. And he's realizing now, like in his 50s, he's 54 now, that he could have made so much more money if he had better people around him, better agents. But you know, maybe he'd been working with these agents since he was young, and he had always assumed that they had his best interest, which they never did. Right? Because that's what happens, you know? So that's what I'm saying. It's a telltale story. It's this very sad story. And I think for the rest of us, because it's already happened, I feel really bad for what happened to Terrence Howard. And I'm going to read the article to you guys too, so you guys can like know more about what happened to him. But it's really sad what happened to Terrence Howard. But for this upcoming generation, people who are young, like around my age and younger, and you want to get into these industries, it's best to do your research and to first understand the industry you're getting into. You should do that with anything, any job, any company, anybody you want to work for. Understand who you're working for. Like, do the research. Go on Yelp. Go on Yelp. Do your research. But yeah, if you're gonna go into this industry, you need to, before anything, you need to find an entertainment lawyer, because there's differences between lawyers. Like there's family marriage lawyers, there's lawyers that help you for criminal, for law, but there's also lawyers for purely just for the entertainment industry, just like there's lawyers just for the music industry. But yeah, if you're gonna go into that industry, you need to find a lawyer. You need to find a lawyer you can trust, you need to find a lawyer, second of all, that does not have strings tied to whoever firm or production company you want to go work for. And you need to make sure that this person has your best interests. You want to make sure this agent can fight for you to make sure you get all the money that you deserve. Because these agents only make money off of you. So, you know, with the agents who were, or lawyers who were clearly over Terrence Howard, they were screwing him. They were getting paid less as well, but since they were tied to the production companies and, like, say Lee Daniels for Empire, they were getting money in other places too, so it didn't matter if they were screwing him. Their best interest was always their higher ups, which was that production company, you know, what was going on over there. But for you guys, yeah, just like learn from the people of who have been around for years, who have grievances, who were screwed, and just learn from them, study them. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this too. It's just like as a learning, like, you know, procedure for any of you guys out there who are like interested in this. But let's talk about this article. I found it off of Rolling Stone. And the article is titled, Terrence Howard sues CAA over Empire salary. Eesh. Eesh. And also I want to say this. Do I feel as if Empire should have got paid as much as Big Bang Theory? Terrence Howard was making, what, $300,000 per episode, then compared to, say, Big Bang Theory making $2 million? No. It's not me being mean or anything like that. I say no. Should Terrence Howard have been paid more? Definitely. If you are the star of a show and you're the reason why the show is going, though the viewership rating number did lower, but if you feel in your own heart that you should be paid a certain amount for the work you're doing, absolutely. Why not, right? Like, honestly, you have to be realistic as well. Yeah, you should have more bargaining room. Absolutely. And yeah, if you're not getting paid what you feel like you deserve, you should have the power to walk as well. But that's what I said, there's so much just tied to this. But let me read the article. So the actor who played music mogul Lucius Lyon, the show is so funny, on Fox Hit says CAA had a conflict of interest. That's the word right there, conflict of interest, when it was conceived to him to take a low-ball deal. And like I said, this happens in the music industry all the time. Think of, maybe you guys are familiar with the Migos. They had, just on the top of my head, just what I'm remembering, the Migos had the same issue with quality control. The Migos, they were young kids when they were signed to quality control. Because quality control is also over Little Baby and Little Yachty and the City Girls. They're all like signed to quality control. Migos got picked up first through quality. And because the Migos trusted quality control, they trusted them enough to take on their lawyers. Come to find out that that lawyer had been screwing the Migos and giving them less than they deserved in the interest of quality control, because that's who the lawyer was affiliated to. Same thing here, like I mentioned before. If you're going to go into the industry, if the industry or production or whoever you're trying to get work from, they offer you a lawyer, say no. That's like the lesson. just say no. Take a pause, do your research, figure out what lawyers you can get, or agents. But yeah, get out of there. Do not take lawyers from, that should be like rule number 1. Do not take lawyers from whoever you're trying to get work from, you're employed from, because yeah, they're not going to give you the best. And like, as I say, just don't just listen to me. Just look at what's happening to Terrence Howard. Look at Migos. Look at, it's just, there's so many stories, so many similar stories of just musicians and artists and actors. This isn't new. This is something that's very repetitive in this industry. All right, read the article. I read the article. Okay. So Terrence Howard sued his former talent agent, CAA, for breach of fiduciary duty and fraud on Friday. I love that word, fiduciary. Alleging the company urged him to take a lowball salary for his role on the hit TV show Empire due to a conflict of interest. Yeah, makes sense. The actor who portrayed hip-hop music mogul Lucius Lyon on 6 seasons of the celebrated Fox drama claims CA failed to act in his best interest because it was also represented Empire's co-creators Lee Daniel and Danny Strong, along with the show production companies in a package deal. See right there? Like I told you guys, see right there. I know what I'm talking about. I always know what I'm talking about. CAA did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it sucked. That's never happened to you before. It never happened to me before, but I can only imagine being in Terrence Howard's shoes and realizing, damn, I got screwed. I got screwed from 2015 to 2019 for 4 or 5 years. I gave so much to this show to find out that the people, my agent, who was in charge of negotiating my contract on what I should have been receiving, gave me lower offers for me to take, suggested, because that same person also worked for Lee Daniels and for the network. That's crazy. Like, I don't know, you guys, I'll be depressed. I really would be depressed. I'd be really depressed. I can't say for certain this was a racial issue, and it's not a racial issue. It does happen a lot more to African Americans, a lot more, and that's mainly due to economic circumstances. Because especially if you're coming from if you're black and you came from a very poor neighborhood or anything, and that's really where they pick up these musicians, really, like from the ghettos and, you know, the slums and places where these people have had nothing their whole life and they've never had money. It's like they almost target these people. If you really good at the industry, like they all come from like the slums, like, or places like in the hoods or whatever, and they pick these people to become famous. But you come to find out, it's like they have the worst contracts, and the industry doesn't care because they're making so much more money off of them. But like I said, can't say for certain it was a racial issue. It happens to black and white, happens to everybody. But I can't imagine another counterpart, a white counterpart with the same accolades, yeah, same recognition and numbers that I had, receiving a lowball pay that I was receiving. Yeah, I mean, season 1 of Empire got 17 million viewership. That's crazy. Howard told Rolling Stone after the press conference Friday that he attended with his longtime partner Mira Pack. Okay, so the Oscar nominee for Hustle and Flow said he finds it objectable that actor Jim Parsons was being paid significantly more per episode of Big Bang Theory in 2015 when Empire debuted, eventually surpassed the sitcom in viewership. Yeah, for season 1, definitely. Season 1 of Empire did better than season 1 at Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory, that's true. He said he tried to renegotiate his contract alongside co-star Taraji P. Henson, but he never got much traction. He started out earning $125 per episode. Man, I know it's low for him, but dang, for someone like me, $125,000 per episode. And say if there's like 12 episodes, that's like $1 million. My gosh. And never got higher than $325 per episode. But yeah, if he's feeling like this was a low amount and deserves more, compared to, say, Big Bang Theory, that's a stretch of a reach, but I get it. I get it. Like, I'm not mad at the comparison, but yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, so he goes on, you have all your agents tell you that you got the best deal possible, telling you everything is good, don't worry, you're going to get your money on the back end. After we get to 100 episodes, we're going into syndication, and man, you're going to get paid. Don't rock the boat, he tells Rolling Stone. I drank the Kool-Aid. I believed I was going to get paid or that I was getting compensated properly, but I wasn't. Ugh. I just didn't want to piss off CAA and Fox. Yeah, see, Fox. They're big companies. Keep in mind, Fox is owned by Disney. Yeah. They're big companies to go to war against. Yeah, fighting Disney, sheesh. That's a big battle. But sooner or later, you gotta stand up. Because they're just trampling over the rights of the artist. Dang, that's crazy. That is so crazy. Let me skip to the bottom. Mr. Howard is here today to ask for justice. Bryant said at the press conference announcing the complaint. Mr. Howard wasn't aware that his self-dealing agents were providing information that was just simply inaccurate. He said that when Howard asked for comparisons to guide his negotiations, the information that was just simply inaccurate. He said that when Howard asked for comparisons to guide his negotiations, they gave him compensation numbers for the shows like CSI, Mad Men, instead of Big Bang Theory. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get it. 17 million for your first season, like, for views. Gilmore Girls and Game of Thrones. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said, for the first 3 seasons of Empire, season 1 had 17.33 million. Season 2 had 15.94. And season 3 had 10.37. So for the first 3 seasons, Empire was going crazy. They had a lot of eyeballs over there. So yeah, I get it. I get what he's saying. Like, I understand what he's saying. He said Howard was duped into being underpaid time and time again. I believe Discovery will show that this was racism, Moore said. I believe it will become abundantly clear why CAA, and that's his agency, talent agency, put their own self-interest above Mr. Howard's. This lawsuit is just the tip of the iceberg. Believe there are other, look at the words. Believe there are other similarly situated actors who may have been duped by CAA. I would be interested to hear this through. Howard, who also starred in the 2005 Crash movie and Iron Man's 2008, who has previously faced accusations of domestic violence. Ooh, that's crazy too. He told reporters Friday that he's aware his lawsuit might be a death blow to the mainstream Hollywood career. He's still seeking accountability. I get that. It's about being a whistleblower, he said. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So this could be an ongoing thing. But I mean, like, I get where Terrence Howard's coming from. If we're looking purely at numbers for seasons 1 to 3 of Empire, 125,000, then ending off at 300,000. Then Big Bang Theory, at their end, they're making $2 million per episode. Maybe not $2 million for Empire, but maybe 400,000. But if he had a different agent, maybe a good agent would have fought for more. And I think that's like the main point. It's if Terrence Howard had a better agent that didn't have conflicted interest, he would have made more money. Same thing for like the Migos. If the Migos didn't have the agent they had, would they have made more money? Definitely. It's definitely. Because it's the conflicted interest is the reason why he had a low ball deal. And that right there is trifling. So yeah, I feel what Terrence Howard's going through. I understand that. And this is news, you know, this is 100% news. Maybe this is something for you guys to keep in mind. Like I said, if you're going to go into the industry or you have interest in it, just keep your eyes open for stuff like this. Be wary of agents. Know where your agents come from. Know where your agents work. Who your agents trust lies. You know, where their interest lies, basically. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this video. I just thought it was so interesting. Beyond Terrence Howard's hair. And he has great hair. I will say that. That haircut, like his hair looks healthy. It looks very, very healthy and strong. I'm a little jealous though. I'm a little jealous because it looks like that, like strong. But yeah, tell me your thoughts down below. How do you feel about this? What do you think about CAA? Have you noticed this issue in the industry where let's just say African American like actresses and actors being paid less than they deserve? And how do you feel about the story? Like, do you feel that Terrence Howard should have been paid more? Do you think it's a problem to have an agent that has conflicted interest? And also, like, for the music industry, have you noticed this in the music industry as well? I have, definitely. And like I said, the Migos aren't the only story. There's tons of other ones. Stories we probably haven't even heard that come out. So many people. Right, but yeah, tell me your thoughts down below. I'm very curious to hear. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, whatever, and I will definitely see you for the next video I find on TikTok. See you guys. I'll be back.